Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video might be seen and shared. Celine Driver once again, bringing you another unboxing and review of a watch that is mine. And this is a special one. A few of you might know, I think I've mentioned it in the past, that I've had two significant periods of watch collecting in my life. One was just after my divorce, and the other one was, I'd say, starting in about 2015. So about a 8-9 year gap between those two periods. In my first go-round with watch collecting, the watch that I favored most was Doxa, a watch that I heard of from my favorite author at the time and for all time, really, a gentleman named Clive Cussler. I have read his books for decades. The first book I ever read from him was Raise The Titanic, because I always loved the story of the Titanic, and I read that book because of the title. And it was a wonderful book, and I read the two before that, Mediterranean Caper and Iceberg, and all the books after Titanic, from all the different series. He has like 5 different series of books, and I own them all, and I've read them all. A wonderful author who unfortunately passed away in 2020. One of the most compelling aspects of his main character in the Dirk Pitt series, which was his original series, was the main character was always mentioned specifically wearing an orange Doxa dive watch, very similar to this watch here. This is not the watch I'm reviewing. This watch was actually produced by Doxa as a commemorative watch, limited run, to commemorate the making of the movie Sahara, starring Matthew McConaughey as Dirk Pitt. It's a pretty good match, I think. And he always wore, Dirk always wore, an orange Doxa. And obviously in the pre-internet days, it was really kind of hard to find out what an orange Doxa looked like. But as soon as I was able to pull up a picture on a computer of what that watch looked like, I became obsessed with owning one. And in 2005, I was able to make that happen. It was late 2005 or maybe early 2006. I was able to make that happen, and I purchased my first of many Doxa watches. Now, I've since sold almost all of them. The only ones I have left is this Sub 750T in the professional or the orange colorway. And I also have a Caribbean, that's the blue one, Sub 750T GMT, which is a fairly rare watch. It was the first and only GMT. And these watches are beautifully made watches. I love the beads of rice bracelets. Fantastic cushion style cases. They're built like tanks. And like I said, I only own currently, I've owned 6 or 7 of the Doxa dive watches. I had the Project Aware, I had a Shark Hunter, which is the black, I had a Sea Rambler, which is the silver, I had a Diving Star, which was the yellow. I had those two. I had a couple of other Doxas. I sold them all off except for the 2 that I really liked. Recently, as I've rambled on for 5 minutes and now gotten to the point, recently Doxa came out with a new watch, a tribute watch in a very, very unique looking case. And this watch is a tribute to Clive Cussler. And it comes in this fantastic cardboard book-like case. And you can see it is in honor of Clive Cussler, sub 300T. Looks like a map of the world. And it opens up like a book, fitting. And inside, I'm going to have to pick the camera up and get an overhead shot of this, obviously, since this is. And inside the box, you have some good stuff here. Now, in the lid of the box, you have manual, which is in multiple languages. And it looks like a map. I love that. Operating instructions and so on. You have a warranty card, and you have this optional tan NATO strap, which I'm never going to use. You also have a letter from Dirk Cussler, Clive's son, and also from the CEO of Doxa, Jan, and I'm not even going to try it. I don't even want to try that last name. Can't do it. Inside inside the box is, of course, the watch itself. I think they probably would have done better making this a tan cushion. And, of course, I put the links and stuff in there since I've already sized this watch. And I'll put that aside and fix the camera. There we go. And here we have the watch itself. This is one of their sub 300T watches. It looks very similar, as you can see, to the 750T. The dial is a little bit smaller. I think the overall case size is a little smaller. But you can see the same cushion style case and the same beads of rice bracelet. We'll put that right there. Now, I've seen online people arguing that this should have been an orange watch, the professional line, instead of this golden, tan gold kind of, looks like an old style map with the compass on it. I can agree that, it may have been more appropriate considering Dirk Pitt's watch was an orange watch, but hey, I already have one of those, right? And this dial color is unique to this watch. It's never been done by Doxa before, may never be done again, I don't know. But I really dig the color of this one. It is in a steel case. It has been, oh, look, I didn't even notice that there was plastic on the flanks. I've been wearing this watch for a couple of days and I didn't even notice that plastic. That's kind of bad. Well, I'll get that later. It has a distressed metal look already done to it. It's been quote-unquote aged. It has a signed crown with the Doxa logo in red. And that is purposeful because in the date window, Cussler's birth date was July 15th, 1931. So the 7, the 15, and the 31 on the date window. Matter of fact, I'll show it to you. 31 is in red, as you can see. I'll zoom in on it a little bit. There you go. And also, if we continue to turn, 7's in red. And so is the 15. Everything else is in black. There. And now that I've zoomed in, you can clearly see the compass. You can see it says Doxa up there at the roughly 10 o'clock. Down here at the 5 o'clock, it says sub 300T. Clive Cussler is in red, matches the red of the date window. It also matches the bit of red on the second hand. The bezel is unique to Doxa and a few others. Instead of a normal dive scale, which is on the inner track in black, where you can see the 5, the 10, 15, and so on, it also matches up to depth versus bottom time. So let's say you wanted to know if you were down 100 feet, your bottom time, I believe that's the way this is read. If you were down at 100 feet, your bottom time before decompression is needed is 25 minutes. And you can see as you turn the bezel, the two track with each other. And you can see, like, say at 70 feet, your total bottom time is 50 minutes. Bottom time at 60 feet is almost an hour, and so on. I'm pretty sure I'm reading that right. If anybody is a diver in the comments, if I've got that wrong, please let me know. Lines up beautifully, no slop. You heard the 120 click bezel is nicely vocal. It's very smooth. It is a really good bezel to work with. Screw down crown is also easy to work with. Obviously, a couple of turns locks the crown back in. And when you unlock it, you can hear it and you can feel it pop. First position, I showed you, adjust the date. Second position, sets the time, hacks the movement. Screw it all back down, and you've got a 300-meter water-resistant watch with a helium valve. Now, among the other unique features on the watch, obviously it's signed with the signed Clive Cussler on the dial. You have some text on the side of the bezel. It says in honor of Clive Cussler, etc., etc. It also, somewhere on here, right there, lists the number of the watch. In this case, it's 496, I believe. My eyesight should be better. Yep, 496. I don't know if it's 496 out of what. I emailed Doxa to try and find out how many of these they're making. They don't say it on the website. And they don't say it anywhere else, so I was going to try and find out from Doxa. Unfortunately, they didn't get back to me as I'm making the video. If they get back to me with that information, I'll put it down in the description, along with a link to the Doxa website. Also, I'll get to the clasp in a minute, but also on the back of the watch are engraved all the different wrecks and artifacts that Numa. Now, those of you who have read Clive's books know that Numa was at the time he started writing them, a fictional government agency, National Underwater Marine Administration, that Dirk Pitt worked for as a special projects director, and then later he became the head of Numa when the original head of Numa became vice president. But Cussler established Numa in the real world as a real organization dedicated to finding sunken wrecks and artifacts. And they found a lot of them. And they are all, or maybe not all, but a good number of them are engraved on the back of the watch. So a lot of subtle touches here. Now, as I pointed out, this is a beads of rice bracelet. It is artificially aged. The links are held in with screws. Now, these are full links. They also have, I'm not exactly sure I would call them half links, but like 3/4 links as well. You can see, well, that might be a little smaller than that one. But anyway, I took out one full link and one mini link on each side, and that fit the watch pretty well to me. Now, also another nice touch, Zelos, yes, I worked Zelos into another video. Zelos also did this clasp, and they don't do it anymore, and it's a pity they don't. I love these ratcheting clasps. It's so easy to adjust this thing on the fly. And right there at the first indentation is perfect for my wrist. I'm going to give you a wrist shot. And you can see on my 7 1/4 inch wrist, this watch fits beautifully. It doesn't have very long lugs. And it fits beautifully on my wrist. I'd say 6 1/2 inch wrist and above can wear this watch comfortably. Anything past that is probably not going to work. It is a single fold, single click clasp without a lock on the folding over the top. It is a double push button. You have to push both buttons. See, I'm only pushing one button. It won't release only when you push both buttons. And I love the ratcheting dive extension, micro extension, if you will, micro adjust. Doxa signed with the Doxa logo and, with the distressed look already on it. It's a beautiful, beautiful watch. I think it's a great tribute to Cussler, who was an explorer, as well as a car collector, as well as an author. I think this watch hits all the marks on it. Let's see. And it was created to honor him and to honor the nonprofit Numa. And I believe some of the profits from this watch are going to go to Numa to help fund it. And they have found many shipwrecks. I think they focused on a lot of old Confederate States, Civil War wrecks, like the Alabama, the Florida, and the Louisiana. They also found the USS Monitor. You remember the battle from history of the Monitor and the Merrimack, the first battle of ironclads. They did find the Merrimack. They found the General Slocum steamer. And they found hundreds of others. In fact, I'll leave a link to Numa's website in the description too, so you can see for yourself what they've done in terms of that. Let's see. I've gone over the date wheel thing. It is, as I've said, is an aged, I'm looking at my notes here. It is an aged steel. It is 316L steel under the aging. It is a sapphire crystal. It is a flat sapphire crystal. Let's see. It's a 26 jewel Swiss movement. I believe it's an in-house movement. I couldn't find, maybe an ETA for all I know, but it is a Swiss movement. Obviously, Doxa is a Swiss watch company. 42.5 millimeter diameter case. 44.5 millimeter on the tipped tip. 13.65 millimeters thick. 20 millimeter lug. 300 meter water resistance. Now, all those measurements came from the Doxa website. I mean, this is really, I think it's a great tribute to Cussler. Yeah, maybe it should have been in orange. Maybe. I don't know. I like the fact that it's not in orange. I mean, I already have an orange one, but I would have bought another one. I like the fact that it's made to look like an old-style, old-timey map. An old paper map, old ship's map, complete with ship's compass graphic on there. And it gives, like I said, Doxa's never done a dial in this color, and maybe they never will again. but it gives this watch a uniqueness as a tribute watch to an author that helped publicize Doxa to a lot of people that exist outside the diving world. And I think that's pretty cool. And I think this was a good pickup for me, and I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. I like it. And on that note, I'm going to wrap the video up because ain't not much more to say. I've said all I want to say. I hope you found this video to be entertaining. I hope you found it to be useful. I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you did, please click that thumbs up button for me. That does help with the YouTube search algorithm. Helps bring people to the channel, and I am all about that. Comments, questions, suggestions down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you are going to try to troll me, you're going to try to insult me, or you're going to leave links to bad places on the internet, I'm simply going to delete the comment and block the commenter. If you're new to the channel, of course, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will take the opportunity to watch many videos. I'm getting up near 800 or so videos on my channel, all kinds of subjects, all kinds of entertainment. Feel free. All I ask in return, though, is you please click that subscribe button for me. And when you do, click the bell icon too, so that when new material is uploaded and released, you will be alerted to that. And as I always say at the end of my videos, it is a crazy old world out there. It is not getting any less crazy. So please be careful out there, stay safe, be well. See you soon.